Good morning, students. Myself, K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in SNH Department, Chevrolet Engineering College. Today's topic, production of a plane polarized light. Actually, in the last session, we discussed about what is a polarized light and unpolarized light. So here, we discuss about the production of a plane polarized light. Before we discussing about the production of a plane polarized light, we have to know an idea about what is the polarization plane and what is the vibration plane. So here, this is a crystal, which is a tourmaline crystal. So here, when an unpolarized light is incident on it, that means it is indicated by like a horizontal line and one vertical line. So these are the vertical lines. So these are the vertical lines. So whenever an unpolarized light is incident on the tourmaline crystal, after the light emitted from the tourmaline crystal, so here, so this is the emitted light. So here you observe that there is no horizontal vibrations of lines, only vertical. That means one-sidedness property. So here it is the named as polarized light. So when you observe that this is the particle vibration, that means the vibration is along the plane A, B, C, D. Okay. So we simply the plane of vibration, that means at which plane the vibrations are going. So at which plane the vibrations are going, then the plane is called plane of oscillation. Plane of oscillation. Once again, I repeat that. Okay. So here entered an unpolarized light. So unpolarized light is indicated by the two positions. This is vertical and this one is a horizontal position. Whenever the light enters into the tourmaline crystal, so this is the tourmaline crystal. This is the tourmaline crystal. When it enters, it is a unpolarized light. After light emitted from this tourmaline crystal, it is converted into polarized light. It has no, when you observe that, it has no horizontal position, only vertical position. That means it has only one direction. So one direction light is nothing but a polarized light. So when you observe that, this vector is called electric vector, which indicates the vibration of the vibrations of the electric vector. Okay. As the particle vibrations, I mean electric vector vibration is like in this position. So the vibrations are in this position. This is the plane consisting of vibrations. So simply this plane is called, that is A, B, C, and D, and A. So this is called vibration, a plane of vibration, which is a plane of oscillation also. Okay. Now, and next one is plane of polarization. Next one is plane of polarization. So plane of polarization means a plane passing through the direction of propagation and perpendicular to the plane of vibration is known as plane of polarization. So now it is clear. So ABCD is the plane of vibration. As a particle vibration is along this direction, but the wave moves like this direction. Okay. So that means the particle vibration and wave propagation are both in perpendicular manner. Why? Because as we all starting, we discuss about that light waves are transverse wave in nature. That means this is the transverse wave. Okay. So here, let us consider a particle. Now this particle moves top and bottom like that. So this is the position of electric vector. For example, this is in y direction. Then the particle moves along x direction. So this particle gives energy to neighboring particle. Again, it also starts vibrations, and this energy is transferred to the next neighboring particle. So, and like this is in a continuous form of continuous transform of energy from one particle to another particle by the vibration. So this is the definition of a transverse wave is particle vibration is perpendicular to wave propagation. So according to this theory, we can easily understand what is the plane of polarization. So here, ABC is a plane of vibration. Then plane of polarization is along E, F, G, H. When you observe that the plane of vibration, that is ABCD, and the plane of polarization both are in a perpendicular manner. Okay. Now we discuss about the types of polarization phenomenon. That means how the unpolarized light is converted into polarized light. Okay. So simply it is called production of plane polarized light. So what is polarization? Polarization means conversion of unpolarized light into polarized light. So that is the meaning of a polarization. Or the main purpose of a polarization is production of plane polarized light. That means to conversion of, this is the unpolarized light. It has more directions. This is one direction. And this is another direction. That is horizontal direction. Already I explained that horizontal direction we cannot clearly explain in a two-dimensional. You have to imagine this one in a three-dimensional view. The horizontal direction is towards the paper. So this is an unpolarized light, whereas polarized light is maybe either vertical polarized light or it may be horizontal polarized, whatever it may be. Horizontal polar. So this is one of the polarized light. This is one of the polarized light. But this is an unpolarized light. Now the conversion of unpolarized light into polarized light. Unpolarized light into polarized light is nothing but polarization phenomenon. Okay. Now, what are the methods? What are the methods for the production of the unpolarized light? What are the methods for the production of the unpolarized light? There are various methods. So here there is, first method is by reflection, and second one is refraction, scattering, by selective absorption, and finally double refraction. Let us discuss one by one. Let us discuss one by one. Now the first method is, by reflection method. Okay. So this is also named as Brewster's law. Polarization by reflection is also named as Brewster's law. So here, Brewster found that when an unpolarized light was reflected at the surface of a transparent medium like a glass or water, it becomes partially polarized. So for example, here XY is any medium, any transparent medium. Now an unpolarized light. How we confirm that this is a unpolarized light? So here there is a vertical electric vector. Also there is a horizontal electric vector. Dot means it is a horizontal position. That means more than one direction. More than one direction is nothing but unpolarized light. So it is clear it is an unpolarized light. Now, an unpolarized light is incident at O with some incidence angle of incidence I. And for every incident ray, it splits into two parts. One is reflection, another one is refraction. Here, N is a perpendicular and small r is the refracted angle. Now, you observe that on reflected side, there is only horizontal electric vector. Only horizontal vector. That means light wave having only single direction. So automatically it is named as polarized light. One-sidedness property or light having single direction is nothing but polarization. That means as unpolarized light incident on the transparent medium, it splits into two parts. One is reflection, another one is refraction. So from reflected side, we observe that it is a polarized light. That means an unpolarized light is converted into polarized light by the process of reflection. So which is nothing but Brewster's law. Which is nothing but Brewster's law. So, but this type of case is not occurring for every angle of incidence now. A particular angle of incidence only it existed. So it is not satisfied for all angle of incidence. It existed only a particular angle of incidence. That particular angle of incidence is nothing but polarizing angle. That means at this angle, the reflected and transmitted lights are right angle to each other, while the reflected light is completely plane polarized light and the transmitted component is partially plane polarized. So it is clear from the figure when you observe that. So here, this is a 90 degrees angle. Okay. What is this? This one. So here, this is the reflected ray and this is the transmitted ray. The angle between reflected ray and transmitted ray is equivalent to 90 degrees. They are right angle to each other. And it is clearly, we can observe that from the figure, the reflected side is a completely plane polarized light, whereas in transmitted side, it is partially polarized light. So this happens only a particular angle of incidence. That angle of incidence is nothing but polarizing angle. Polarizing angle. Then, what is the statement of Brewster's law? What is the statement of Brewster's law. The tangent of angle of polarization is equivalent to refractive index of the medium. First of all, what is the refractive index of the medium? It is the property of the material. How much light can pass through it? How much time or how much capacity of the medium, whether it is a glass, all the mediums having some refractive index. Even our human bodies also have some refractive index. So refractive index means it is the property of the material in which how much light energy is allowed with them. So depending upon the refractive index, medium to medium, we define rarer and denser medium. For example, so this is a medium having some refractive index mu. Now a light ray is incident on it. Actually, the refractive index of light is, the refractive index of air is equal to 1. So for example, this is the water particle. So this is the water particle. Okay. It has some refractive index, some mu is equal to some 2.5. Mu is equal to 2.5. Every medium has a particular refractive index. Basing on refractive index of the material, so we call it as which one is rarer and which one is denser. As compared with these two refractive index. So here mu is equal to 1 is refractive index of A. So A is act as a rarer medium. Why? Because as compared with refractive index of the water, the refractive index of the air is less. So simply this medium is act as a rarer medium. Whereas water is act as a denser medium. Water is act as a denser medium. This is very important point. So which one is a rarer, which one is a denser, we cannot clearly particular air is act as a rarer, particular water is act as a rarer. We cannot decide that. It is decided by comparing the refractive index of the two mediums. Okay. If in case there is the two mediums, one is water and the glass, then here the property of the material depending upon the refractive index, again we can decide which one is the rarer and which one is the denser. Otherwise, we cannot decide which one is rarer and which one is denser. Only basing on refractive index, that means by comparison. For example, if there is a line, okay, is it short or long? We cannot decide that. Okay, as we draw another line, so this is the small one and this is the bigger one. Even though it is act as a bigger one, but when we draw another line, so this one is act as a smaller. So in the similar way, basing on the refractive index, by the comparison of refractive index of the medium, the refractive index of the medium, which one having the less refractive index, then it is act as a rarer medium. And which one having the denser, which one having more refractive index, then it is named as denser medium. Like which one is the more length, like this the example. Okay. So once again, we go to the original concept. Then what is refractive? What is the statement of Brewster's law? The refractive index of the medium is equivalent to tangent of the angle of polarization. Tangent of the angle of polarization. That means mu is equal to tan P. What is P here? Polarization. What is the angle of polarization? It is the angle at which a reflected light ray and a transmitted light ray are in a right angle to each other. That particular angle of incidence is nothing but angle of polarization. Okay. So simply, what is the statement of the Brewster's law? The tangent of the angle of polarization is equivalent to refractive index of the medium. That is, mu is equal to tan p. The next concept, how we prove the mu is equal to tan p. Actually, it is not in our syllabus. Just I explained that we have only up to the statement Brewster's law only. So in exam point of view, you have to prepare up to here is enough. Okay. Now proof of angle between reflected and refracted. Suppose a beam of unpolarized light is incident on the glass surface at a polarizing angle P. So here the polarizing angle for air and glass is 57 degrees. So this is the glass plate. This is the perpendicular, and this is an unpolarized light, like that, unpolarized light. Okay. With some polarizing angle, it has two directions. No, this is the P. This P value is 57 degrees, 57 degrees, 50. Okay. A part of incident light is reflected while the part of light is refracted. So as usual, it is the reflection and it is the refraction. As reflection here, and this is the refracted part. According to Brewster's law, mu is equal to tan p. From Snell's law, mu is equal to sin p by sin r. So here, actually sin I by sin r is the Snell's formula. In place of I, we use P as the polarizing angle. That is the angle of polarization. So simply change I by P value. So as usual, this is the expression for mu as according to Brewster's law, that is tan P. And this is the expression for refractive index according to Snell's law. Now by equating these two equations, that means tan P is equal to sin P by sin r, sin P by sin r. So tan P is equal to sin P by sin r. What is the formula for tan P? Tan P formula is sin P by cos P is equivalent to, according to Snell's law, sin P by sin r. So simply here sin P and sin P are cancelled. Now cos P is equal to sin r. We can write cos P as a, in terms of sin, as sin of 90 minus P. So sin r is equal to sin of 90 minus P. So by cancellation on both sides is sin term. Therefore r is equal to 90 minus P. So just write the minus P to right side. So it becomes r plus P is equal to 90. So here, this is the I and it is R. So this value is equivalent to 90 degrees. Okay. How it is value equal to 90 degrees? As you observe this figure, M, O, Q is I. Okay. That means whatever the polarizing angle is the same as here also. And this one is small r. And this angle, that means the total angle from I to R, this is totally equivalent to 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Okay. Total this value equal to 180 degrees. So this is the total value. So here it is I, something this is X, but this total value becomes to 180. Okay. So I plus X plus R is equal to 180. Okay. Here I is same as to P. So this is also P. And P plus X plus R. So here X is QOR. So R plus angle QOR plus P is equal to 180. Okay. Now, what is R plus P? Clearly from this Q loss, it is equivalent to 90. So simply replace the R plus P as a 90 here. And finally, the 90 is from this side is equivalent to 180 minus 90. So angle QOR value, that means this value is equivalent to 90 degrees. That means the reflected and refracted rays are right angles to each other. So this is proved with the help of Brewster's law. With the help of Brewster's law. So actually in exam point of view, it is not an important. If in case in examination is given this question, you can write it. Okay. Now this type of a polarization is called polarization by reflection. And the another case is polarization by transmission. Another case is polarization by transmission. Okay. When an unpolarized light is incident at some polarizing angle, what is a polarizing angle? Already we discussed that. The reflected light is completely plane polarized and a transmit light is partially polarized. So here, for this purpose, that means polarization by refraction purpose. So this is in case of transmission also. That means we get we have polarized light in transmit side also, but we have to take in refraction side. Here we use a pile of plates. So these are the pile of plates. That means a number of plates at all incident at a polarizing angle. So here these are the number of plates are arranged in this manner. So this manner is nothing but a pile of plates. Like actually here glass materials are used as a pile of plates. So due to that, if the process of reflection at the polarized angle is repeated using number of plates. So when you observe that here an unpolarized light is incident on it. So this is the refraction, the refracted side. So it has some in between some there is a vertical components also there. So here the polarizing angle is 57.5. When a monochromatic light is falls on these pile of plates, some part of light is reflected and the remaining light is falls on the second plate and some part of light is reflected and so on like that. And the second plate is reflected and some light is transmitted to another plate. The process is repeated and going on for up to 15 plates. Now the outcome is perfectly, this is the perfectly plane polarized light. When you observe that here all the horizontal components are replaced by these glass plates and finally there is only vertical plane polarized light is outcoming from this pile of plates. So this is only occurring when the plates are arranged in this manner only. Okay. So here the pile of a plate is act as a polarizer. What is a polarizer? It is the material which convert the unpolarized light into polarized light. So that is called polarizer. So here the pile of plates is act as a polarizer. Okay. Now the next concept is Malus law. So this law statement is the intensity of the polarized light transmitted through a analyzer varies as the square of cosine of the angle between the plane of analyzer and the plane of polarizer. So here I already explained what is meant by polarizer and what is meant by analyzer. Polarizer means it convert the unpolarized light into polarized light. And analyzer means it analyzes whether the light is polarized light or not. So basing on these two concepts, here the Malus explains one concept, which is Malus law. That is, the intensity of the polarized light transmitted through the analyzer varies as the square of the cosine of the angle between the plane of the analyzer and the plane of the polarizer. Now, this topic we discuss in the next session. So today, now it is end of the program. Okay. Thank you to all.